Folio, which is bragging about beautiful battery life. We've got the Acer Aspire and Toshiba Satellite and Compal, and we've got the ASUS system, Samsung system, LG, each one of them. Please feel free later on just to hold it, touch it, and let me know what you think about it. And as Paul is going to his keynote, he's going to disclose additional system that I believe when you look at them, you say the two words. First of all, you say, wow, and then you say, I would like to have it. So this is where we've been until now. But the question is, what's going to be ahead of us? So this is present, or for me, it's almost history. This is where we are going, and let me give you a sneak peek of some of the things that we are doing in order to add additional jazz into the ultrabook and make it even more compelling, meeting all the user experience that customer wants. First of all, if you're seeing what's happening in the computer industry, in the last 30 years, if you look at the performance, so you are trying to kind of equate performance to the number of transistors, in the last 30 years, the number of transistors grew up by 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But if you look at the user interface, the man-machine interface, we didn't do a lot. We didn't do a lot, by the way, because of two reasons. First of all, there was not enough innovation, but people do not recognize it. We didn't have enough compute power to do what we always knew that people would like to do. So it's not that there was not the innovation. There have been a lot of experiments, there have been a lot of things in the labs, but you didn't have the horsepower in order to bring it to mainstream, and you don't want to have a server in order to do some kind of a natural interface. So, you know, in the 70s, we've been dealing with DOS. The old guys over here, let's say, no, you don't say old in the US. The experienced guys in this audience, remember that they were working with DOS. And as you know, I used to say it many times, DOS was very user-friendly operating system because you need a lot of friends to operate this DOS operating system. Later on in the 80s, you know, Apple and Microsoft came to the graphics screen and have the icons. Definitely it was much better, more user-friendly. And lately, we've seen people moving to touch, which is very intuitive, but for some reason, the touch skipped the notebook, skipped the ultrabook. It was dedicated to phones, and it was dedicated to tablets. And there was a lot of dispute about it. So let me tell you something. It's not going to skip the ultrabook anymore. We've got this discussion in internet. Some of us have been almost religious, believing that an ultrabook with a touch will be an ultimate solution. People do not want to give away the real keyboard, the physical keyboard, but they want to enjoy both worlds, the real keyboard and the screen, even in a touch screen. Because we had a dispute, we took it over to the market. It was Europe and the US, and the reaction was unbelievable. People loved it. We gave them all kinds of things to do, and 75% of the operation had been done on the screen, not on the keyboard. On the keyboard they typed, they called the picture, but they wanted to zoom the picture, they wanted to crop the picture, they wanted to close window. They were using a lot of the things with their hands. So let me share with you some of the comments that people say. I usually use the touchpad, but it's intrigued me. I like touch, but typing is important. And the thing that I liked most was the fact that somebody said, this is for working. This is for fun. And then, you know, you've got all these skepticism people. Also in Italy, we've got a few of them. And they say, yes, touchscreen is going to be great, but make sure that you sell it to people with gorilla hands, because you need to do like this all the time. So you better go to the gym room and make sure that you've got big muscles in order to be able to operate it. And we tested it as well. No. People say it's very easy, because when you do gestures, or you touch the screen, you do it like this, and you do it like this, and some of the people even held it like this, and just doing the scrolling, because it's much more comfortable to do the scrolling like this than doing it with the mouse. By the way, the results have been so well that my director of marketing, Eric, was sitting over here. We didn't believe the result. We never had something that tested so good, and we sent the team over to Brazil and China. And the two teams came back with exactly the same results. So let me show you some of this touchscreen and how it's done. And two things. If you believe me, say wow. And if you don't believe me, go later on to this notebook, try it, touch it, and then tell me wow. Okay, what do we have over here?
So we have a Windows 7 Intel Concept Ultrabook. and with a very media-rich enabled touch applications. Very simple, very easy. You can touch it, navigate it. We can open up a magazine, easily just flip the pages. We can zoom in if you want to check out the car. Easy navigation. Go down here, we can go to a different page.
So we can see some of the applications are much easier done by scrolling the screen, zooming, and all these kind of activities, closing windows, opening windows. Some of the applications definitely, like writing email.
It doesn't replace it. I still utilize the keyboard, I still utilize the trackpad, but now I've gone into all three usages. I'm using the touch. It's just so natural, so easy. It's very intuitive. You want to give it a try?
Yeah, definitely. It looks beautiful, and if I need to read it. But I'm distracted all the time. What the hell is all this piercing?
Oh, well, I can help you find a place down the street to get one if you'd like.
Thank you. This would go very good with my head.
It would match very well.
Okay, but this is the touch screen. What do we have over here? Because I believe this is something that we stretch it another level, right?
Sure. So this again is the same Intel concept ultrabook. This one actually is running Windows 8, and it also has sensors. Everyone's used to sensors.
You must let me know, although I didn't practice it.
Okay. I'll let you pick it up and do it.
So we've got a sensor that we added to the ultrabook. So first of all, when you need to speak a location, it will not ask you where you are and you need to put your your address. It will be done automatically. But more than that, if I take it, and I believe it's Google Earth, I can navigate it and use all the great compute power that you've got in i5 and iCore, and I'm not sure that many other things will be able to deliver such an application, and at the same time, enjoy both worlds. So we can see over here, and again, you'll be able to try it later on, how the sensors are working with these ultrabooks. And I can see already people asking cynical, yes, but it's a clamshell. So let me promise you two things. First of all, it's very comfortable to do it with a clamshell. It's beautiful. But some of the systems are going to be clamshells like this. It's a base. But if you would like to do it, you'll have it as a tablet. Thank you guys. By the way, this section, did you hear what they just said? But what you can see over here is the way that you'll see many of those. We call it sliders or convertibles. We just open it, we took it, and then we can take the compute power that we've got in a core processor and use all the greatness that we can do on a PC. But if you want to do it as a tablet, you can have your tablet with you, and then you can have the touch that you have seen, you can have the sensor, although my personal belief is that people will use touchscreen with their ultrabook, even in a clamshell, and people will use the sensors, and after a few weeks that you use it, you'll be surprised you will not be able to do anything without it. So what you see over here is the ultrabooks, and we've got it on Microsoft, Windows 8, that you all have seen the tiles, and it will run even better. So the first example was an ultrabook with Windows 7, and once we are working with Microsoft or Windows 8, we'll be able to get even better experience and having the time experience with the rest of the applications.